Stolen Miracle is a really strong film. It's not the easiest watch, but it's very well done. This was released in 2001. It's directed by Norma Bailey. It's written by Peter Lauterman, and it stars Leslie Hope as Sergeant Jane McKinley. And it's based on truth. I couldn't actually find a lot about the true story on which it's based, so I definitely can't comment on whether it's very close to this true story or if it's loosely inspired by events, but either way, the fact that it's even possible for this to be based on truth is disgusting, because it's about a baby who is snatched from a hospital by somebody pretending to be a nurse. We, the viewer, see who this is, we see who takes the baby, and obviously nobody else does. And I was really keen to see what would happen, because my first thought was, I've no idea how they're going to track this person down. And it was really interesting to see how things developed and how the story progressed. And this is also on Christmas Eve. It was actually on my list of Christmas films to watch this year, not really considering it a Christmas film other than the fact that it does take place on Christmas Eve. And we do have a couple of Christmas scenes, which honestly just makes it all the more emotional. And in terms of it being difficult to watch, there are definitely a couple of moments. I mean, the whole concept of a baby being stolen, a newborn baby stolen from the hospital, is a challenging thing to consider, particularly when it's based on truth. But there are a couple of scenes specifically that are really quite emotional, and I think they're very well done. I thought the performances were brilliant. It's a very well written narrative. Again, I don't know how much of it is completely based on truth, but within the context of the film, the story is well written. It has a good structure. It has a good pacing. It was a little slow here and there. There are maybe a couple of scenes that were not that interesting. But as a small subplot, it also deals with the fact that our detective, our sergeant rather, Sergeant Jane McKinley, is working around the clock on Christmas Eve to solve this and find the baby, but she has a family at home. She has a husband, she has young children, and obviously those young children and her husband want to spend Christmas with their mother. But obviously what she's doing is also significantly important. So it deals a little bit with the difficulties of that kind of situation, but obviously the main focus is finding this baby. As a story, it's very gripping, definitely quite emotional. Really don't want to think that it's based on truth. If anybody knows anything about the true story on which it's based, please feel free to share. I couldn't find anything. I didn't spend too long looking, but there wasn't anything too immediate. And either way, it's an absolutely horrific concept, and I think they did a good job of telling this story in a way that was moving and emotional and powerful. The performances are brilliant. It's quite suspenseful. It's not completely predictable. Stolen Miracle is a good film. It's not the easiest to watch, but I definitely recommend it.